The KTM 500 and 350 EXC bikes are hugely popular right now. They're very good with all the old guys out there who want to be able to connect trails or ride from their house legally on the streets. And we're going to give you an inside look at this 350, which will relate to both bikes on many of the parts and show you everything we do step by step. This is step one right now. Okay, so one of the ways to get a little better airflow on the KTM EXC or XC, any of the off-road bikes, even the motocross bikes, is a two-stroke filter cage here. Doesn't have the backfire screen, allows for more airflow through, real simple to install. KTM part number, just any of the current two strokes will go right in. Okay, so we've got our suspension back. WP Factory Services does a real good job. When you go on their website, you can actually fill everything out, put all your specs you need, and they actually can send you a box. That's really cool, shipping box for those that don't have a lot of shipping materials. Comes with everything you need. You drop your suspension in, real simple deal. Drop your suspension in, your forks in, you don't need any packing, anything, you just tape it up. So we had them lower it. We're gonna throw it on the bike right now. We think we're gonna need to run a little shorter kickstand, so we'll look at that when we get this installed. Okay, so we've got our suspension back on. With the lowered suspension, you need a shorter kickstand. If you don't, the bike's standing too straight up. KTM does offer one, ProMoto Billet, Trail Tech, all of them offer some good shorter kickstands as well. KTM has one for their lowering kit. So real simple deal. With the bike a little shorter, you need a little shorter kickstand. Real simple deal. Hey, we're up for our next part in this EXC project. That's our KTM 350 EXC. Really cool bike. We got a few things bolted on. We got our FMF pipe matched up. On our header, we have a bung, we call it, welded into the header part. That's where the O2 sensor is going to go in. We're going to get our real accurate reading on our air-fuel ratio as we map this thing in, get the optimal air-fuel ratio. These things can pop a little bit stock. We want to take that away. We're going to use the Vortex ignition, going to map it in right to this box. You can also just run this thing the way it is stock and do clickers to map it in yourself. Pretty easy process to do so. So we're going to show you what it's like in the dyno right now. So we've done our first runs so far with just the stock ECU in, and the mapping is a bit lean, just as we suspected, especially on top and on decel. Pretty simple install. No tools really required other than taking the seat off. We just finished with the initial run on the Vortex. We've run the map 6, and there's a bunch of choices there with a nice sheet. With map 6, it cleaned up the air-fuel ratio really nicely throughout. Made the bike a lot richer, helped get rid of that popping. And then on the power, we picked up some torque and horsepower, about 1.5 horses up top, and smoothed out the power tremendously. Okay, so that's a wrap on all of our dyno runs for today. We're gonna be back here when we revisit this with the big bore on it. But for now, map 6 was pretty good. We went a couple clicks leaner on each of the 3 adjusters, and that put us a good happy medium in between there and where the stock one is, as a good overall air-fuel ratio throughout. No more popping, good smooth power throughout. So that's a wrap for part 1. Those are some good, fairly low-cost mods to get started. Check back with us in part 2, and we're going to start digging a lot deeper into this thing.